my name is Cannon Cash, and you're watching Survive to the Finish. Today's episode will be on the 5 W's of finding a shelter in the wilderness. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. And to kick right off, we are going to talk about water. So, is there a source of water nearby that you can get? You can collect the water and boil it so you stay hydrated. Like right down there, I don't know if you can hear it, you probably can't, but there's a creek. So if I were to camp up here, I would have a water source less than 125 feet away. So always want to make sure you have water nearby. Next up is what they call widowmakers. So widowmakers are dead tree limbs that can potentially fall on you and in your sleep. So you kind of want to look up, in the trees, get a different angle or two, and see, hey, is that a dead tree? Is that a dead branch? And if so, how big are they? Are they gonna, are you gonna get an ice storm or a wind in the middle of the night, and that ice puts weight on that tree limb and it might fall, and also wind, wind will knock over a tree. So you always want to make sure that's a big one. Make sure there's no dead trees around. And also, if there is a dead tree, how far away is it? So like up there on the hill, there's a gigantic big dead tree. I think it's like a walnut, I don't know. But if that were to, tip over, fall, uproot in the middle of the night, and I'm down here sleeping, that tree, depending on how tall it is, and depending on how steep your hill is, it's gonna probably end up over here, because that's probably a 250-foot high tree, and I'm probably not 50 feet away from it. So, always make sure, I can't stress that enough, make sure there's no dead trees around. The next one, kind of going along with trees, is wood. If you're camping in a big open field, then is there going to be any firewood around? So that's kind of self-explanatory. You probably don't really need to think about that one too much, because I live in the hills of Kentucky, so probably pretty much everywhere you look, there's a tree. The next one is wildlife. So if you know the area that you're going to be camping in or whatever, then that's going to help you out, because depending on, like, if you live there, if you own the property and you're there quite a lot, then you're probably going to see, a deer or a turkey or a squirrel or something, that if you're planning on going out and camping and hunting for your food, then you want to know what's, if there's any animals around here. Like here, I know that there's deer, there are coyotes, there's turkeys, squirrels, rabbits, there's pretty much anything. Now, I'm going to break it to you, I've never hunted. So, I know how to hunt. I have skinned an animal before, but I will always bring food. If I'm going camping for 2 nights, I'm going to bring enough food for me to go camping for 2 nights or 2 days. So I'm probably never going to rely on hunting for food, but if you do, you should probably bring some sort of weapon to hunt that food. So if you're planning out, going hiking, camping, and you also want to hunt during that camp, and you're going after, let's say, deer, okay? So you don't want to bring a 30-30, a 30-06, a 308, a deer cartridge, because if if all you see is a squirrel, I'm no math expert, but you're probably not gonna have a lot of meat on that squirrel. I'm not one of those people that says, if you hunt an AR-15, or if you hunt a deer with an AR-15, it's gonna blow it to shreds, and you won't have any meat off of it. But with a squirrel, it's probably not a great idea. So anyway, next one. So we talked about water, we talked about wood, we talked about wildlife and widowmakers. Next one is wind. So along with widowmakers, and the weather, really, I guess I should say weather. So like, do you know what the weather is going to be for that night, 2 nights, however long you're camping? Do you know what the weather is? So if I go camping, I'm always going to base my camping trip around the weather. So I don't want to go camping the day that it's going to be 32 degrees raining, I'm probably going to want to go to the day that it is 50 degrees and sunny. You know, I mean, it's not ideal, but it's okay. I mean, I'll you know. So yeah, and you kind of want to dress appropriately. So right now, I mean, there's obviously snow on the ground. So I'm not going to go camping with a pair of blue jeans and a sweatshirt. I'm going to wear probably 2 pairs of pants, and like my outer layer is going to be thick snow pants. I'm probably going to wear a undershirt, like some thermals or whatever, a shirt, probably a thin pullover or light jacket, and then a big coat. And and I've talked about this before, but you don't want to sweat. So wear something thin, probably 2 layers or something down, that you can take off whenever you get hot, and then, you know, like put on your big coat or something and take off your sweatshirt, you know, so you don't sweat and then you get cold and then you get hypothermia. So that's all. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.